Good evening. As I prepared to come and meet with you guys, I asked myself, am I ready to join this award-winning staff you have of producers and artists and become amongst the ranks of the elite that you have here at your label? But then as I thought about it, I realized, that's type of cold feet that you get when you're not prepared. As I stand here today, I find myself at a point where I have graduated with my degree in audio production after doing hard work at Full Sail University. On top of me and my own personal feats that I've reached and goals that I've been able to reach in the industry myself. So when I think about that, it makes me realize that I am ready, because I know for a fact that from what I've achieved up until this point shows that I am very progressive, I'm very hardworking, and that I can make things happen for people. As I sit here on the other side of this long journey that I've taken, and I hold my degree in one hand, I hold my certificate from the Grammys in another hand, I think of all the artists that I've worked with and great relationships that I've been able to maintain. I know that I'm ready to join your staff. I started actually as just having one drum machine on top of an old TV in my grandmother's house, doing my little rapping and things. And we had our own little producer, and unfortunately his mother passed, so he had to leave. So when this happened, I realized, look, I'm gonna have to do my own beats. I can't just rap over nothing. So I began to start, experimenting with making beats. As I did this, people started to actually gravitate at the time more to the beats than anything else. So, I started to realize, hey, maybe I have something with this. So basically, fast forward, I continue to do it. Caught the attention of certain people, in the industry, and began getting work in the field. Thankfully, it did take me to pretty great places. Now, there's one thing though. As I'm in this profession though, basically getting inducted as a young guy, hadn't really taken up much about the business. Didn't really take up a lot about sound techniques and qualities. As I went around, I started to realize where there's a need, and actually it becomes a sort of shortcoming when a person doesn't know, the things inside and out. So, and I get this from basically, being in sessions, with artists, and seeing how they work, how impatient they are when it comes to, knowing the machinery around you, knowing how to troubleshoot, knowing how something should sound. They don't have time to wait for, you to get it together. So basically, as I started to realize this, I said, I better start to take this into my hands. You know what I'm saying? Being a person who takes charge of his own future and feeling that way, I said, let me start to get more things under my belt so that I can make myself even of greater use to this industry that I love so much, by the way. 'Cause I mean, I've put my all into this industry for years. You know, I mean, everything. So just know that when you're seeing me standing here before you, this is not a fly by night person, or it's not a person who's in it to mingle with stars per se, or just try to be jet set or part of something. This is something that I live and I do. So basically, to continue the story, as I went on and started to realize this need, it became deeper and deeper ingrained, even as I started to see other producers and see how they work and listen to their sound and see how they interacted with artists. I started to really realize how necessary it was for me, at least, to take up audio production, because when you have an artist and you can fully understand the full working, because see, there's a difference between being just a producer as far as working the machinery and making beats. Then there's the engineering part. There's understanding sound, and this is something I want to fully encompass. I want to know all of this so that when I come and I'm working with your artists, I realize I want them to be able to depend on me. I can be the one man show if need to be. So I took myself, got everything I needed, and here I stand before you, ready. And I'm telling you now, like, when you have your artists with me, they're not leaving unless they have a hit on their hands. And now I can confidently say that I know the workings of this studio. I know the workings of the sounds. I know what's supposed to sound where, how, things are supposed to sit within the mix perfectly. And besides even just that, I can make the track, I can even rap on it if you want. I mean, I fully have this music thing within me. So when I ask, so if you want to know if I'm ready, yes, I'm ready. And if it's at all possible, I would love to be a part of your production staff. Thank you.